Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first week of the Modern Racing Truck Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, again for week number 1. Qualifying is currently underway, and as of right now, we have 15 drivers that have already set their lap times, and a projected, looks like, to be 20 or 21 more drivers, 21 total, I should say, for tonight's, or should I say this afternoon's race. It's a pleasure for all of you to be joining us. I am Gary Weaver, and it's going to be a quite interesting 80-lap race here at Las Vegas. And after seeing the truck race, the actual truck race, it's going to be even more interesting to see what these guys can do here on iRacing. I believe it is actually the late afternoon by the looks of this as well, and indeed it is, as unfortunately there's a lack of nighttime, but late afternoon is the closest we can get. That's where they started the race, in the actual truck race, I believe, so it does work out. The feed should be coming up in about 30 seconds time. At the moment we have 18 total drivers, 19, 20, 21, 3 more drivers have yet to set in lap times, but at the moment it is the number 91 of Rice Saunders who is on the pole with a 30.625. Congratulations to him for at the moment getting the pole. It appears that also the drivers that does get the pole will get at least 1 bonus point for this race. Looking back on some past race history, in fact, actually, the only time where it was less than 80 laps was the 2015 season, Season 2, actually, where there were 70 laps, and throughout the past 6 races, there have been 2 cautions, 2 cautions, 1 caution, 4 cautions, 1 caution, and 1 caution. That is for the least recent to the most recent in the past 6 races. The more information, though, is that this is actually our 6th visit, so it is quite interesting to come back here for the 6th time. And the past drivers that have had the poles here on this raceway were Ian Cornish with 2 poles. We have Jeremiah Zumwalt with 1, Nigel DeJong with 1, Richard Weil and Connery Maddock also both having 1 pole position here at this raceway. Some drivers are currently in the process of putting down their lap times, or at least taking some extra practice, I should say. And once again, I'm Gary Weaver, and it's going to be an 80-lap race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And looks like the most laps led, or total laps led, I should say, most laps led by total was by Jeremiah Zumwalt with 137. So some past wins on this race as well. Jeremiah Zumwalt and Nigel DeJong both have had 2 wins each. Jake Forrester and Matthew Dalton with 1 win each. And Nigel DeJong actually is here, so it could be possible for him to make a 3rd win and top himself on that little stat that we do have. I'm not seeing Jeremiah here, so I don't believe he will be here this season. I don't think he was there last season either, but nonetheless, it is a pleasure to be doing this here tonight. So 2 minutes 20 seconds, I'd say it's good enough time to head down your starting grid just a little bit early, just so we can get that out of the way. So on the starting grid for the time being, it is Rice Saunders in the number 91 with a 30.626 for his pole time. Only 2,000ths of a second slower is Doug Pickering, starting in second in the number 2 with a 30.628. Next up, we do have Ian Cornish in the third place position, and Carl Hayes. Is that Carl Hayes, rather? Nonetheless, they both have essentially a virtually identical lap time of a 30.630 third and fourth, respectively. And both of those drivers, I'm seeing Carl Hayes is 1,000th of a second behind Ian Cornish. So that could be from the fourth decimal spot that does not show up on scoring. Linus Broström starts fifth, rounding out the field, or rounding out the top five, rather. Mark Redford starts in sixth. Josh Wong in the 7th place position starts on number 27, and Michael Jones in the not so lucky number 666 starts in the 8th place position. Rounding out the top 10 will be both Stuart Pomfrey in 9th and number 36, and Rice Hardwick in the 136 rather, with a 30.7. The first driver to hit the 0.7 mark here on the field. Mark Murphy starts in the 11th, 12th place. To his outside is going to be Jamie Sawyer, both in the 58 and 46 respectively. John Jarrett in the number 59 starts 13th, lucky number 13, while Jonathan Rex in the 14th place position starts in the 17 to his outside. Lane O'Connor starts in number 18 in position 15. Simon Marshall in the 16th spot starts in the number 19 machine. And then rounding out the field of drivers that have taken their time, Chris Stansfield starts 17th in number 74. Andrew Bullock starts in the 404 in the 18th place position. Rounding out your 21 car field will be Nigel De Jong, Lance Simon, both in the 41 and 04 respectively, and then Daniel Beckett in the number 23 rounds out your 21 car starting grid. And you can see in the distance there, these drivers starting to grid up here at the raceway over on the start-finish line over in the front straightaway. Once again, 80 laps, and from personal experience racing these, it is going to be a complete killer on the right front tire especially. So you can go full out, full throttle through every single corner if you want to, but you're going to be severely killing that right front tire. So it's going to take a little bit of tire management and also some fuel management as well, of course. So at the most, I'm probably thinking that these drivers could make it for about, say, 20 or so laps before they would really have to pit. And of course, just to look at the raceway here, you can see all the start-finish, or the pit stalls, rather. And then the drivers will be making their way over into turns 1 and 2. A little bit of a new thing here at Las Vegas as well. You see that blue cone and the blue line over there? That means the drivers have to stay below the white line once they leave pit road. And once they cross that line right there and that cone, then they can merge up onto the raceway as they so please. But down the South Point back straightaway, I don't know, back straightaways apparently, down the Nellis straightaway rather, down into turns 3 and 4, you can see the garage area, the paddock, and then coming off of turn number 4 for the lap here at Las Vegas. Field is starting to roll off, and it looks like we're missing a few people. Will they be starting in pit road? There is one starting in pit road, but that may be it. This is the view, and all the grandstands here. Beautiful mountains over there. Amazing scenery here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Field is, of course, rolling down the through the corners, and then we'll be going green this time by. This camera will be focused on the pit road area. Just so we can see who is where. So once again, as a reminder, starting on the pole, it's going to be the Rice Saunders machine. If we can find him over here. The number 91, there he is. Once again, it's a pleasure to have all of you joining us for the race here tonight, this afternoon. It's going to be very, very exciting. Pace car getting ready to pull off the racetrack. There it goes, hard left-hand turn, almost missing the commitment line through the start zone. And the green flag is out. We are underway here at Las Vegas. Oh man, alright. Really slicing and dicing are some of these drivers right out the start. Josh Wong is under the number 31, the Mark Redford, trying to get up to 6th place position, trying to retain that position. Number 6, Rice Saunders, meanwhile, Ian Cornish in 2nd, Doug Pickering in 3rd, and the number 2 could be 3 wide. Maybe seeing that a lot today as Josh Wong really shuts the door against Pomfrey in that number 36. On board Pomfrey. As he slides up in the middle of the corner again, it's going to be, the draft is debatable on whether it helps or not, but for some drivers it does, for some it doesn't. There's Michael Jones right next to him, he'll get by. Up to position number 8 goes the 666. Pass for the lead, it appears. He has Ian Cornish, moves to the inside off turn number 2. On the inside is Ian Cornish and slides up a little bit, almost contact, maybe just a little bit, but at the line this time around, it's going to be the 81 of Cornish that time by. Still side by side though, these two lanes represented by both drivers, with the 81 and 91 over in turns 1 and 2 there. Both of those lanes are essentially equal, and look how quickly this field just got single file. First race of the season. It looks like Carl Heitz will be trying to, he's all over the back bumper at least, at the number 71, somehow trying to get by and advance his position by 1. Looks like he will do so off turn number 2. To the inside goes number 96 and very up top. Following as well, it's going to be Josh Wong a little bit higher up. Thought he was going to make it 3 wide there for a moment. He could have, if he did have the momentum. And looks like that 71 of Brostrom's going to get shuffled back at least one more spot off turn number 2 for the time being, it looked like. And this is going to be the problem here at Vegas. When you have a runoff, when you have a lot of momentum as these two drivers almost make contact, look how close they are. Jeez. That's a little bit too close for comfort, but again, using that top side off turn number 2 and you have a run on somebody in front of you from the draft, well, if you have somebody on the inside of you, you can't really go anywhere. For the time being, the fastest lap so far has been set by, looks like the number 71 at Brostrom, a 30.736. So we'll see if it changes this time by. As he moves his way to the inside, so it's the number 96. And no change for the fastest lap as of right now, and somebody took a piece of the outside wall with them, entering turns 1 and 2. That's how much of a disadvantage it will be here at Las Vegas if you have so much momentum taking the inside lane from the apron all the way back up to the main raceway, the main track. Let's watch a 71 here. It'll come up and not scrape the outside wall. Sometimes you have so much and you're moving so fast to get back into your original line that you just hit the outside wall ever so slightly. But Rice Saunders has had enough of sitting in second place. We saw that just barely in turns 1 and 2. And they're going to slide up. They make a little bit of contact. Saunders has to let up. That's going to open the door for Doug Pickering now. Pickering on the top side. Saunders on the inside, your pole sitter. Slight advantage for the number 2 machine off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Look how much of a distance there is. Right where that number 2 is running. That's essentially the secondary preferred lane here. And Pickering will get by officially, both on track and at the start-finish line. We'll see if he can run down the number 81 of Ian Cornish. Maybe a battle in the back, and there is. That's between Nigel DeJong and Mark Murphy. DeJong in the 41, Murphy in the 58. Opts to take the apron for DeJong. Will he slide up? He does ever so slightly, but still gives enough room. Not enough to shut the door. Lane O'Connor on the inside, it seems. The 136 of Rice Hardwick, but look at the number 41 there. On the inside, Jamie Sawyer. Little bit of the apron. There goes Jamie Sawyer around. He saves it though. No, he gets rear-ended. Through the infield grass he goes. No caution, of course, as he did not spin out. Not sure who that was that unfortunately rear-ended him. That was aside from that, that was a great save by Jamie Sawyer. Going to take a look at a replay here to see what exactly had happened. We know what happened, but the question is who rear-ended him. And, oh man, who was it? That was the 18 of Lane O'Connor. He had absolutely nowhere to go. Going to take one more look at this. From the onboard of Lane O'Connor, you'll see the 46 start to slip out. There he goes. Oh man, just nowhere to go for O'Connor, unfortunately. Meanwhile, in the meantime, number 91 has gotten back by number 2 of Doug Pickering for that second place position. And that may not be the case because here comes to the inside Pickering, trying to look for better momentum but couldn't find anything. 96 of Carl Hayes is just riding behind, watching this happen all in front of him. And you can see the 91, he's starting to take the very top side, opt to go to the inside, the middle lane rather, through turns 1 and 2. So Saunders' tires could be starting to fall off a little bit. Especially, once again, that right front is going to be a key tire that you have to keep correct as much as possible. Just going to look back through the field here, and a little bit of a brewing battle. John Jarrett, the number 59, trying to hold off Murphy in the 58, who crosses down to the inside in turns 1 and 2. This is for position number 11. off the corner. Bryce Hardwick also just watching this go on in front of him. And he backed off a little bit. You could visibly see that. Wow, man, that 58 is really trying to side draft. It looks like that may work out for Murphy. He does get by very quickly, and that's going to send John Jarrett down 2 positions, now down to 13th. Back to where he started. We have a crash up ahead. Somebody spun out. Not sure where, though. Somebody managed to save it, though, looking through the field, not seeing any major differences. Take a look back on that real quick. As looks like it was actually off the track, is why there was no caution. And the cause for that was the number 74, unfortunately. That was Chris Stansfield. So it looks like he caught the wall off turn number 2. Tried to keep it off the raceway, and somehow somebody avoided him there. Not sure who that was, unfortunately, but he did manage to save it. But unfortunately, right after that, decided to call it quits. Although I believe he actually still is on the raceway. No, he is. He is currently sitting over in pit road, trying to get everything reorganized and repaired as much as possible. 60 laps to go here at Las Vegas. It looks like the gap between third and second has widened out just a little bit. Pickering still using that air quote preferred inside lane. As Ian Cornish has been in control of this race essentially pretty much ever since he got by Saunders. Saunders, however, don't forget, does have that 1 bonus point from qualifying in first place. Looks like the 91 got a little bit loose off turn number 2. It's going to put him back into the clutches of Doug Pickering ever so slightly, because look at that gap just instantly widen out directly after that. All 3 drivers opting to take the apron. And to the inside goes Saunders. Could be a pass attempt. He's doing as much as he can, but he just can't get it done. A little bit of a lane swap, too, as compared to the last time around. It was Saunders on the top side, Pickering on the low side, and that may set Saunders back by 1 position. As Pickering is caught right back up to the quarter panel, all over that back bumper. The number 91 is Pickering. Saunders to the inside, trying to attack for the lead as Pickering tries to attack for second. Defending successfully for the time being will be Cornish, however. Look at Pickering move to the inside in the middle of the corner. It's going to give him a little bit of boost of momentum to the inside. No, he couldn't make it, unfortunately. So right now, this looks to be the closest battle on the raceway, and that is correct. Between second place, essentially a 2-3 car battle for first. If Saunders can bring Pickering up to that number 81's back bumper. Pickering, though, has other ideas as he takes to the inside lane. Once again, still can't really get it done. He almost fell right back in behind the 91. He had it for the time being. Let's ride on board the gyro cam, the number 2 of Doug Pickering, for a whole lap around Las Vegas and see how he does around here. Well, never mind, maybe not. As he gets to the outside, we'll take a look at this battle and then decide later. Pickering now is to the top side, Saunders to the inside, that lane swap again. Here comes the momentum from the 2, crossover, no. Look at who's caught up to this battle here. Number 96 of Carl Hides. Somehow he managed to catch up because these two are battling so hard. Right along with number 71 on his gyro cam. So you can see from that the front straightaway, of course, is a little bit banked. And unfortunately, instead of advancing one position like he wanted to, number 2 has been sent back one position. And now that Saunders doesn't have anybody attacking him, he can freely attack that first place position of Ian Cornish, but for the time being, again, still not enough momentum for the number 91. Should be expecting pit stops here eventually. Look how close that 91 of Saunders is on the back bumper. With the 81 of Cornish pretty much bum drafting him through the corner. That's what it appears to be. At the very least, he looks to the inside, decides not to make a move. To the inside, finally attacking for the lead. Comes Saunders. He's going to try and reclaim that position that he so rightly thinks he deserves, and he does after gaining the pole. You do have a few drivers in pit road. A few drivers have already made their pit stops, rather. Jonathan Rex, John Jarrett, and Chris Stansfield from earlier. Oh, 91 got loose coming back up onto the racetrack. Saunders in the lead. Here comes the 96 of Carl Hides. Will he make it 3 wide? They got a lap car in front of them. It looked like he would have made it 3 wide. He's going to peek to the middle. 3 wide. Almost contact between all 3 drivers for a second, almost all 4, including that lap car. Oh man, that close battle between Cornish though. It almost came up into the 91. We've seen that a lot so far this afternoon. A break will be coming up. And of course that is a few laps after pit stops, which should be happening in a few moments' time. We will be keeping an eye on our pit lane timer. Let's see who enters pit road throughout the course of this race. Brostrom has caught up to Doug Pickering. Cornish has fallen back. So Saunders is now back up into the position that he started in, which is first place. Carl Hides in second place, and he did start fourth. He dropped back, I believe, at the beginning of this race for a few laps. Must have saved his tires, which is a very smart strategy by that number 96. To the inside for fourth goes Brostrom in the background here. For that 4th place position, Pickering still getting sent back a few positions. Unfortunately, he just cannot catch a break for the time being. And Pickering, 27, also into pit road. That's Josh Wong. That's the 2 and the 27 that have entered pit road. On lap number 36. Not too far behind him. It's going to be the 27 also making his pit stop. Both of them cleanly into their pit stalls. Third driver in pit road. Nope. Misread of the timing there for a moment. This is going to be interesting for Doug Pickering because as of right now, he would, as looks like Josh Wong came out before him. Interesting strategy though for Doug Pickering. They're not going to make this a. It doesn't look like he would make this a one-stop race. At least divided up 40 laps in the first, 40 laps in the second. Carl Hayes managing to hang on to second place. Cornish hanging on to third place. Fourth place, Linus Grisham. And here is Nigel De Jong from 19th. That Cabela's Silverado. And here comes the leader of your pole sitter, Rice Saunders, to pit road. And he's going to be the only one for the time being that decides to head to pit road. Murphy and Redford also in pit road before him. They're actually leaving pit road right now, too. So Saunders, this could be maybe a two-stop race, but at the very most, looks like these drivers can make at least one stop. And Saunders perfect into his pit box. That's going to leave Carl Hayes in the lead for the time being. Ian Cornish in second. Brostrom has the pit road. So is De Jong at a very high rate of speed. Somehow. Oh, we may be in the way, though. The number 71's pit stall. Then again, the 41 did start in 19th, so he will be fine. Brostrom, and take a look at the 41 one more time. Brostrom also in pit road. Smooth into his pit box as well. Here comes the leader, Carl Hayes. Cornish follows a little bit squirrely there. Michael Jones stays out. Hardwick heads to pit road. Pomfrey also stays out. So it is essentially halfway this time by, and a few drivers making their pit stops. A little bit earlier than pretty much around schedule for those drivers. Michael Jones has yet to head to pit road. Stuart Pomfrey will stay out. He's in the number 36. Daniel Beckett in the number 23 has also yet to pit. 404. Andrew Bullock decides to stay out. Lance Simon also has yet to head to pit road. And Jamie Sawyer in the 46, well, he's already in pit road. So the only drivers that have not yet pitted are Michael Jones, who's currently in first. And right when I say that, here he comes to pit road. Stuart Pomfrey, will he follow? He will not. Daniel Beck in the 23. And Andrew Bullock have yet to pit. So essentially it's going to be the top three, and only the top three in a few moments' time, save for Lance Simon, who's currently in the 12th, now 13th place position and falling rapidly as he is really trying to save and extend his pit stop. There goes the number, looks to be the 17. That is Jonathan Rex leaving pit road. So Stuart Pomfrey, Daniel Beckett, and Andrew Bullock. Take a look at the 23 and the 404 this time around. They don't look to be making any moves towards pit road as of right now. Josh Wong currently in 4th, Saunders in 5th. They will be 1st and 2nd roughly when the top three do pit. Doug Pickering in 6th. Nigel De Jong in 7th, 8th place, Linus Broström, 9th, John Jarrett, and 10th is Carl Hayes. And there's Stuart Pomfrey. He's going to be trying to lap everybody at this rate. And live timing does say so, as it's trying to reset itself essentially on the spot. Ian Cornish trying to hang on. There's Stuart Pomfrey not too far behind. Daniel Beckett to pit road. That just leaves the 404 and the 36. They'll be extending their pit stops as best they can. They're more than likely trying to hope for a caution. Daniel Beckett, of course, getting 4 tires. He is down and away. Pomfrey in the 36 also, again, still has yet to pit. He's almost taken, at the moment, he's taken 46 laps on those tires. Same for number 404 of Andrew Bullock. Lance Simon's taken 45 laps. He is, of course, a lap down. So he's also going to be, he's trying to wait, actually. I think he's going to stay out and wait until there's caution so we can get a lucky dog. I wouldn't be surprised. That's actually a good strategy, but to what extent is the main question. Stuart Pomfrey still not making the move to the pit road. He may be trying to, again, just rely on the caution. But for now, we will be going through your top 10. Andrew Bullock, we'll take a look at him. He also stays out. So Stuart Pomfrey in the 36, currently in the lead. Same for Andrew Bullock. Third place is going to be Josh Wong in the number 27. Bryce Saunders in the number 91, your pole sitter in 4th. 5th place is Nigel De Jong. 6th place is a little bit of a battle between Broström, who's now currently scoring 6th, and Doug Pickering currently scoring 7th. Carl Hayes in 8th. 9th, Ian Cornish, and 10th will be Mark Redford. I think Pomfrey's going to pit for this entire race, actually. At this rate, it doesn't seem to be the case. But the 404 of Andrew Bullock has went to pit road as he slides into his pit stall, barely missing it. So now it's just Stuart Pomfrey and Lance Simon that have yet to pit. 50 laps on these tires for Pomfrey. Josh Wong currently in 2nd, rather. Then we just have a small scramble of cars on the lead lap, and we will let you know when Stuart Pomfrey does make the choice to head to pit road. Battle between the 2 and the 81. Pickering has unfortunately been doing nothing except falling back for possibly this entire race. Look at that, he's trying to side draft that number 81 of Cornish. Both of these drivers on completely different strategies, and well, here's the thing. Doug Pickering has 5 extra laps. He has 15 laps on his tires. Ian Cornish with 10 laps worth of tires, 10 laps worth of usage. Same with Carl Hayes. Very, very close battle, actually. No, that's a lap car, number 18 of Lane O'Connor. Well, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break, but just as a reminder, Stuart Pomfrey, 53 laps on his tires, and he has yet to pit as he's relying on the caution. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, and we will be back in a few moments' time, but you will not miss a single thing here as we head to this quick break. Stuart Pomfrey currently in the lead here at Las Vegas. course, as you have seen over our little break, Stuart Pomfrey has finally made his way to pit road after a very, very long stretch. He's finally decided to give in, but this race is essentially just getting started. Lance Simon and Chris Stansfield both had trouble entering pit road, and Simon unfortunately is out of the race. Right now we do have Bryce Saunders trying to hold off Nigel De Jong for the lead. Nigel De Jong has 2 wins here, and again, we thought that he did say, can he get a 3rd win here at Las Vegas? Right now, he is on the move to do that, with 21 laps to go this time around. Absolutely 0 cautions so far this race. And of course, knowing the commentators, curse, that will no longer be the case within the next 20 and a half laps, more than likely. Right now, the 41 of De Jong and 91 of Saunders, a little bit of lap time comparison. As I'll show you on our driver compare, their last lap is on the right-hand side of their name. Essentially 1/10 of a second faster as De Jong. Right about 0.13 seconds faster, to be more specific. Here he comes to the outside, crosses over to the inside. No, as Saunders protects. Move for 3rd place. That's going to be Brostrom. They make contact in turns 3 and 4. Sorry, Josh Wong and Carl Hayes. Very completely different lines, of course, between the 41 and the 91. Saunders, this current race's pole sitter, first pole for this track's history within the league. And these two will more than likely not be giving up this win anytime soon. As De Jong follows 91 into the corner, then moves to the inside. He may have it this time around. Going to take a look, and he does. But not enough momentum, unfortunately. Carl Hayes in 3rd, battle for 4th place between the 71 of Brostrom and the 81 of Cornish. A brewing battle now, or dissolving battle. Josh Wong in the 27, 6th place. Pickering back in 7th. Now the main question is, if a caution does come out, will these drivers pit? The answer to that is maybe, as the 41 De Jong, can he finally go from 19th to 1st in this race? Doesn't say so on the scoring, at least the live timing. But he does have the inside of Saunders, though, down the back straightaway, and not anymore. Here's the thing, is that Nigel De Jong has 1 lap fresher tires than Saunders. It may not sound like much, but it does do a lot, and we're seeing that right now with 15 laps to go. Again, to the inside comes De Jong, and he'll get to the door of Saunders down the back straightaway. To the inside goes the 41. At 91, though, Saunders holding the outside lane immensely well. And he'll fall in front of De Jong, and Saunders will have to be very, very careful going down and up onto the apron, because that transition can easily loosen up your car, and if you go down a bit too much, the part where the grass pokes out on turns 3 and 4 in the Legends Oval, that will definitely get you if the apron doesn't. DeJong again to the inside. He may have it this time, though. For the time being, he definitely does have it by position. And off the corner, flying by on the outside, is going to be Saunders. Toyota versus Chevy, the age-old battle. Got 12 laps to go this time around. And it looks like the 41's still trying to catch up. This is pretty much the closest spot on the racetrack. This is why we're sticking with this one. It's also because of the number of attempts that DeJong has been making. Now DeJong will try the outside lane coming through turns 3 and 4. No momentum. Crossover almost bump drafting the 91 Saunders. Now we'll get to the door. Saunders down the back straightaway, front straightaway rather, into turns 3 and 4. Now will DeJong slide up? Looks like he will opt not to, and that 91 still fighting back on the outside lane. Ten laps to go this time by, and when we hit 6 laps to go, 6 or 5 laps to go rather, that's going to be a very sketchy point of the race, because if the caution comes out, it depends if we will or will not get a one-lap shootout. If we do get a caution under with 4 laps to go or less, then of course the race is over. And it looks like somebody's starting to make a late race comeback. That's going to be the number 96 of Carl Hayes. He started to catch up just ever so slightly faster the last time around, 0.04 seconds faster than DeJong the last time around, rather. Now that was this time around. So DeJong is faster than Saunders, and Hayes is faster than DeJong and Saunders. This could be essentially a 3-car battle for the win. Question is, who is going to make the move when? DeJong has been trying to make the move for the past 20 or so laps. He's going to bump then Saunders down the back straightaway, front straightaway again. He almost does. He gets to the outside lane this time around in turns 1 and 2. Forces up the racetrack. Will he cross over to the inside off turn number 2? He chooses to do so. I had to hold my breath there for a second. 3-car battle for the lead. Sorry, I was actually looking at the best lap comparison, but I'm still correct actually, as Hayes is faster by a 10th. Equal lap times essentially if both nope, never mind actually. Yeah, equal lap times, both a 32.7 for first and second, and then the 32.6 from Carl Hayes in the number 96. And a little bit of a bump from DeJong to Saunders down the back straightaway. 6 laps to go this time around. And it looks like Carl Hayes is just going to let the 41 try and run down number 91 Saunders. We can see the momentum. The gap is visibly closing to the inside. No, he looked to the inside. He chose not to. Now he does. Carl Hayes does go to the inside. DeJong allows it to stay against the back bumper. That could help for slipstream. I think DeJong got a little bit loose exiting turns 3 and 4 there. 5 more laps remaining here at Las Vegas for week number 1 in the My Turn Racing Truck Series. Bryce Saunders has set the pole time. DeJong has come from 19th at the moment to now 2nd. trying to get up to first place, but Carl Heinz has made a late race comeback. Faster than De Jong the last time around, just by 0.03 seconds. 4 laps will decide the winner here. All 3 drivers now using the same line. Will Carl Heinz stick to the inside, however, as he makes his move? Can he make the move stick off turn number 4? He sticks to the inside as Saunders tries to protect against De Jong. He knows that Heinz doesn't really have any draft, but look at Heinz. He's still trying to power through onto the inside. He may be able to get alongside the number 41, maybe even past him. No, a little bit of momentum loss from the 41 De Jong. That's going to take the line away from De Jong for the time being. Now Saunders moves to the inside to protect, as we now have a battle for second place with 2 laps to go. Somebody will have to make a move eventually, and Carl Heinz is doing that right now. He wants this win onto himself. Look how much he powers through to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Carl Heinz was faster than De Jong that time around by about 0.05 seconds. And this time this will be the deciding lap, as it looks like De Jong gets a little bit loose off turn 4. Final lap here at Las Vegas. 1 lap remains. And looks like De Jong will try and force his way into the inside of the 91. That doesn't work though, as Carl Heinz was already there on the inside. Down the back straightaway they come. 1 more chance from the 41 of De Jong. Saunders goes to protect. Through turns 3 and 4, top side comes De Jong. Saunders protects almost to the outside wall, and across the start-finish line, Rice Saunders wins at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A caution-free race for essentially the first time in the history of this racetrack for My Turn Racing. An amazing effort by De Jong from 19th to 2nd. And Carl Heinz finishes in 3rd place after a late race comeback. I believe he did start 4th, and he did. So congratulations to Carl Heinz as well for managing to stick with the top 3. A little bit of a congratulatory pass, it seems, from Carl Heinz. Saunders burns it down here for the first week. I think it's going to keep going until his engine blows up or his tire goes out. Yep, looks like he's going to aim for the engine destroying burnout. Don't tear up the grass, Saunders. Okay, I thought I was going to aim for the grass there for a second. Yep, he's going to keep going until his engine burns out, so while we, and he tore up the grass, just ever so slightly. Congratulations, though, to Rice Saunders. We'll take an interview with your top 3 in just a few moments' time, but first, the results for this race. Rice Saunders comes home. And, well, amazing job. First driver of the season, at least. And the newest driver to both put himself on the pole and as well win the race. So congratulations to Saunders. Nigel De Jong finishes 2nd place after an amazing effort. to get up to the second place position and almost passing by Bryce Saunders a few times. Carl Hayes finishes in third place after multiple attempts to try and get by both of those drivers. Unfortunately, it does not pay off. But fortunately, though, he will come home with a top 3 finish. Ian Cornish finishes in fourth. Fifth place will be Linus Brostrom. And Josh Wong, Doug Pickering, Bryce Hardwick, Mark Redford, and Michael Jones round out your top 10 position. 11th will be Mark Murphy. Stuart Pomfrey finishes 12th. 13th, John Jarrett. 14th, Jonathan Rex. And then everyone else, unfortunately, one or more laps down. Daniel Beckett in 15th. 16th will be Andrew Bullock. 17th is Jamie Sawyer. Lane O'Connor finishes 18th. 19th, Chris Stanfield, after running into a few problems entering at pit road. And then Lance Simon finishes at 25 laps down. Unfortunately, after wrecking in the entry to pit road, he decided to retire after that. And then your final driver finishing 21st is unfortunately going to be Simon Marshall. He did not show up for tonight's race. So interviews will be coming up in just a few moments. So stick around, as it's going to be quite interesting to talk to Heitz, DeJong, and Saunders. So we'll be right back. This is My Turn Racing, Week 1 of Las Vegas here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere.
So, you want to race in NASCAR. The road starts here. Introducing the eNASCAR Ignite Series powered by iRacing. This is the gateway for all aspiring 13 to 16-year-olds. Starting June 20th, ignite your dreams of one day racing in the top tiers of NASCAR. Go to www.iracing.com/ignite for full details.
Back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where right now we are standing by with the 96 of Carl Hayes. Carl, do you have a copy on us?
Hello.
Well, congratulations, as slight issues there. Hold on a quick second. And now that we have everything reset, there we go. Well, congratulations. You managed to pull off a third place finish after starting fourth. Did you, what was your strategy for this race? As, of course, it appeared to be a one-stop race. So what were you thinking heading into tonight's race?
Saving tyres and take care of your right rear as much as possible, really, and just let everybody else race. It was really the plan, and it kind of worked out perfectly to a degree. They all got away from me at the beginning. They all seemed to go too wide for a few laps and started racing, and that was like I was just sitting there rubbing my fingers together, and next thing I know, I'm catching them up again. And it was the second half before the pit stop. Was the first run was quite easy. I was pootling along, and catching people quite quickly, and got to Reese, and I couldn't really do much about the line he was running, and so I just settled for that, knowing that pit stops were soon, and that if I could come out near Reese, I knew then we'd have a good race, and then the pit stop happened, and it all went a little bit wrong.
Yeah, just a little bit wrong, but somehow you did manage to catch up to both De Jong and I believe it was Saunders. So somehow you managed to be just that small bit faster. Of course, you did have 2 lap fresher tires worth, so it is also yeah, that's also going to be playing into your favor as well.
Yeah, they were together for a few laps, and they had to catch Josh Wong and get past him, who was quite hard to overtake. And then the real killer for me was I lost like 2.5 seconds on pit lane, not paying attention to pit lane speed whilst I was changing stuff, and yeah, so kind of cost myself a little bit of time there, which allowed Ian to catch me back up, and like lost a little bit of track position to Linus and a few other people, which I got back, but it's just, it would have been a better race if I hadn't lost that time, but it's my own fault. So you can only blame myself, and you can only learn, can't you? So
Yeah, it does take just a little bit of experimentation as well, just to see pretty much whatever happens and what you can and can't do. But before, actually, just also one last question. Heading into Michigan next week, what are your options there, or your thoughts heading into Michigan next week? Because I believe that will be the repaved Michigan as well, the less bumpy one.
yeah, that'll be good, and be interesting to see how that race is without the extra rotation in 3 and 4 especially, and with them bumps, and see how the tyre wear goes, and get some fixed racing in the week and a bit of practice, and see if we can come up with a strategy to run these guys down again. I'm not the quickest qualifier some weeks, so kind of have to rely on a little bit of gamesmanship with tyres and strategy, and see where we go.
Of course, before we let you go and head off to Michigan next week, what are your thoughts? Sorry, I almost asked the same question again. Anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to or thank for your top 3 finish here this afternoon?
Just my own sign company that I've got for painting iRacing cars, which is Hazy Signs, and Doug and Linus for the advice and the help during the week. And thanks again for you guys for broadcasting.
It was most certainly a pleasure. So hopefully we will see you in the same position next week, or maybe just one more up. So congratulations again on your 3rd place finish.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that was Carl Hayes in the number 96. And next up will be the number 41 of Nigel De Jong. Nigel De Jong, do you have us?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, you ran down Rice Saunders from 19th to 1st. Almost got to 1st a few times. You were making many attempts at trying to somehow make your way up to 1st place, and unfortunately it did not work out. But my goodness, that was a very exciting race. What did you do aside from not qualifying? What is your thought process for choosing not to qualify?
Well, I was actually watching a fairly exciting Packers-Vikings game. So and they ran into some overtime, so I didn't even get to watch the end of it. But yeah, no, I kind of jumped into the room late, and then that game was on. I sort of forgot, I guess.
Well, it did pay off in your favor though, since you somehow, I believe actually were. I think you actually were the driver that got the most positions gained throughout this entire race. So on the bright side, there is that. So
yeah, it made for a really exciting race, I guess, both for people to watch, but also for me to drive. It was really fun trying to get through the field, and when thank God we went green and some pit strategy came into play. Who pits when, and it just made up a bunch of spots there. It really worked out.
Indeed, it did work out, and I'm pretty sure more than likely that your right side tires kind of started to go. How did you manage those tires throughout both of the stints that we've had this race?
The first one, I was just I was getting through traffic fairly easily. The bottom lane seemed to work. So it was towards the end of that run, I still had something left. And then that second run, I started catching Reese, and it was so tough to make a pass. And I just started overdriving it. I think we all did. And then in the end, Carl came, made it a three-way battle. And just, I think all our tires were just shot. Just whoever was in front and could keep the rest off was going to win it.
Well, it definitely was a very exciting battle. So, any thoughts before we head into Michigan next week, which I believe is going to be the new repaved Michigan as well?
Well, can't wait. Haven't run there before. I have bought it. So, yeah, let's see. Hope we can put on as good a show as this week.
Yeah, for this week, it was absolutely amazing. So, of course, before we let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your race win, for your second place finish here tonight?
Well, Reese and Carl, obviously. It was hard racing, but it was fair and clean, and I don't think we ever touched, and we can do that 10 more times or 11 more times this season, then be in for a good one.
Well, we certainly hope so, because it was absolutely amazing action. So we're going to go ahead and let you go, and congratulations on your second place finish here this afternoon.
Yep, thank you very much, and hope to see you in the next one.
And of course, we also hope to see Nigel De Jong as well. And next up is going to be your race winner in a few moments' time, Rice Saunders. Once we get everything set up here. Rice Saunders, do you have a copy on us?
I do, loud and clear, Gary.
Well, congratulations on setting a pole time and somehow managing to hold off Nigel De Jong, and you just add your name to the list of drivers that have won here at Las Vegas, of course, alongside, ironically enough, Nigel De Jong. So that was absolutely amazing, though, that you somehow managed to hold both of those drivers off when you had the oldest tires, 41 laps to be exact.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. I looked down with about 24 laps to go, and I saw that Nigel was, a tenth or so behind, and I thought, how am I going to keep him behind me? And I didn't think I could do it. But no, the top line's really strong at Las Vegas, and he couldn't. Yeah, he could get alongside, but I'd just get the run off the corner. I just soaked up so much pressure. So I must say it was a fantastic race by Nigel, Carl. Even enjoyed racing with Doug and Ian in the first stint as well. There's some cracking racing.
Yeah, this was absolutely amazing. And also, ironically enough, another piece of at least league history for this track is that it's the first caution-free race as well. So definitely worked out in your favor as well for your pit stops, though. Or your pit stop, I should say. What was the key thought there that you didn't want to mess up from the banking change from the racing surface to the apron, and then also having to slow down to actual pit road speed without trying to spin out your vehicle there on pit entry?
I was quite conservative, really. I'd not done any pit stop practice, so my one shot at getting the car to pit lane at racing speed wasn't the race. So I should probably practice that in the future. But I have lost races before. I've lost many races before where I've probably been the quicker car or been in a great position and then thrown all the way on pit entry. So I'm really happy, that was kind of ticking part one of the job to be done.
Of course, definitely an amazing job, as pit stops usually are the key thing in the race along with the actual race itself, but probably more important would be the pit stops. Of course, next week we will be heading to, I believe, the repaved Michigan Speedway. So any thoughts for that race there?
Yeah, Michigan, obviously it's a 2-mile track. It's very fast, even in the trucks. It's a track that traditionally I've disliked. I always struggle with tire conservation there. But since a couple of builds ago on iRacing, I've actually been quite quick. So I need to get it out of my head that I don't like Michigan, because it's a track that I've ran okay at recently. So I think I have had a win there recently too. So it's one that, look forward to, do a bit of practice, definitely practice my pit entry, and hopefully see if I can double up in the win column.
Yeah, don't forget, it's also possibly the repaved Michigan, so that's also going to play just a small factor into that as well. It's so much fun, though, once repaved. But, of course, before we let you go celebrate your win, do you have anyone that you'd like to give a shout-out to or thank for your race win here tonight?
Oh, well, I'd like to thank Turnfield Racing. It's my team. They're fantastic, really good group of guys. But I'd also like to thank guys I ran at the top with for keeping it clean tonight. And everyone for turning up. I help admin this league too. And it's, to have 80 laps run green, and hopefully it was entertaining to watch. I need to watch it back. I'm looking forward to that. So just thank you for everyone for taking part, and hopefully people out there enjoyed watching it.
It's definitely amazing to watch up here. So it's going to be a pleasure to hopefully see you next week once again. Put another win in the win column at Michigan.
Cheers, Gary. Thank you.
And that will do it here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the My Turn Racing Truck Series. It's absolutely amazing to broadcast this race. Of course, unsure for next week, but if it is possible, just make sure you keep an eye on this channel for any future races. Of course, we do have 2 races coming up on October 19th for the AMA Racing League for their preseason race. 2 preseason races, actually. Both Cup and Super Late Models, 50 laps each in the Thunder Rally known as Rockingham Speedway. But until then, remember, don't forget to subscribe, and of course, make sure you hit the notification button as well to make sure you're notified of any future broadcasts that we do. And hopefully we will be seeing you next week. Take care, and goodbye.